taking a look at BlackBerry stock, like I mentioned in the past, we had this overall cycle, came down, bounced off support level December 2020, January 2021, went up to the upside, hit resistance, came back down, bounced off support again, May 2021, went up to the upside, hit resistance, coming down, formed channel, etc., etc. Now this spike up looks like just a repeat of before, where yes, we saw spike ups to the upside and then got pulled down, spike ups to the upside, got pulled down. Ultimately, just keep going lower until we bounce off this upward trend support level. And that might be the same play once again before we reverse up to the upside, potentially either trying to test this downward trend resistance line again or break through it fully. And if that's the case, I'm going to go through what price points you could rely on as support, what price points are going to act as resistance, what the overall movement for the stock will be before earnings, because earnings is coming out on September 22nd, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. What price points I would be looking to enter at if I was looking to enter new positions. I do own a lot of shares in BlackBerry. I'll be adding potentially more if I have more funds here and there, depending on what time I'll be able to enter at, if that makes sense. And quick disclaimer, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion. It is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. Now, before I get into the price points and all that stuff, or actually I'm going to do some quick stuff. So right now it's back in the channel right here. By channel, what I mean is came down, bounced off support, went up, hit resistance, support, resistance, maintained in the channel. Yes, there was a false breakout, but right now we're in within the channel, and the price point within the channel is basically around $10.90, $11 on the high end. And then the bottom side is $9.80, $9.70, and then counting for false breakouts, they're looking at support at $9.50, maybe $9.47, $9.47, around that price point. So essentially $9.80, $9.70 to $10.90, $11. And in terms of dropping down like a rock, in terms of hitting the support level right now, which I don't think would be the case, but if it were to do it right now, it'd be at $9.15. This is on September 14th, 2021. But tomorrow's the next trading day, September 15th, 2021, closed at $10.04. And if it were to spike up right now, which I don't think it would do it cleanly, because obviously there's going to be horizontal resistance levels on the way, like we've seen in the past, where it's $12.38, $12.37, $12.34, it's almost $12.40. Right about here, twice went up, got knocked down, went up, got knocked down. But either way, I digress. If it were to spike up, you're looking at support or resistance pretty much at $13.90 for the most part. I remember when I measured it was like $13.90, which coincides with a really strong horizontal resistance level at $13.93, $13.94, $14 price point. So ultimately, to be honest, it's most likely going to get knocked down. This is for the short term. I'm extremely optimistic for the long term. December earnings, in my opinion. So the one quick thing though, before I continue also, the downfall about this earnings is if the patent sale does not come through, I think that earnings is just going to be okay for the most part, just because of their forecast that they gave in the past. And the downfall about that is because a lot of analysts seem to be waiting for this earnings to determine if BlackBerry is doing pretty good progress overall. And that is a downfall because I'm not expecting anything spectacular. So the downfall is it could drop and all stuff, or maybe not do anything, or maybe continue with this upward trend, but they basically just hug it and do nothing for quite some time until December. December earnings, in my opinion, is technically supposed to be just okay, but with that Microsoft deal that I still have to make the video for, I think their earnings will jump up, if my calculations are correct, about 75 million per quarter. And if that is the case, then that's pretty decent growth overall, where it's not a crazy amount of growth, but it'll be good enough to almost surprise analysts in a way. And then plus, guaranteed, in my opinion, that the patent sale will come out in December. I'm pretty confident it'll come out right now during this earnings conference call on September 22nd, 2021. But if it doesn't come out, extremely confident that will come out in December. So if that's the case, then you'll have essentially an earnings beat in December, plus the patent still coming out, and the stock will essentially fly. The only problem is, the downfall is, if the earnings is not that great right now, you're going to pretty much have a stagnation period, or potentially a small more drop potentially, which would be the worst in my opinion. I'd prefer it to hit the support level and just hug the support level until December. But either way, you'll have a stagnation period where you're just going to pretty much grow tired of the stock potentially, and then by December it'll fly. So again, nobody knows for sure. This is just my opinion, not advice. Take everything with a grain of salt, but I'll continue overall. But I think that's what's probably going to happen unfortunately, potentially. Now, in terms of the overall movement right now before earnings, for the time being, I think it might get stuck on this channel. And what I mean by that is, for example, tomorrow, September 15th, 2021, or the next trading day, September 16th, 2021, right now, for the time being, the stock looks like it's going to be reversing to the upside a little bit, but not too much. It might even get stuck by the $10.90, $11 price point. Ultimately, pretty much guaranteed it's going to get knocked down by $11 price point for the following reasons. So if you look at the 1 month chart, this is the MACD line, this is the RSI chart. The MACD line indicates if it's in a bearish or bullish movement. So for the 1 month chart, for the time being, in terms of 1 month movement, yes, it's in the negative, yes, it's in a bearish movement, but it's trying to potentially slow down in terms of negative movement and curve up to the upside, crossing over to a positive, indicating a bullish reversal to the upside. And in the RSI chart, this indicates if it's oversold or overbought, and it's in the oversold territory. In fact, it's in extremely oversold territory. So potential reversal to the upside for the 1 month chart. Now, if we go to a 3 month chart, which is hypothetically a little bit longer, because that's 1 month chart is a little bit more short term, 3 month chart is a little bit long term. It's in the halfway mark for the MACD line. The MACD line, it's not really indicating a potential slowdown. You could say probably it is because the bars are the same size right about here. So potentially the halfway mark, and then the RSI chart is indicating it's in the oversold territory and in the extremely oversold territory as well, just like the 1 month chart. If we go to the 6 month chart right about here, almost the same thing, where it's not in the middle yet. There's going to be probably some more drops potentially. So you could still be seeing, for example, like I stated, hopefully I mentioned the ranges. The high side of the channel is the $10.90 to $11 price point, and the bottom side is about $9.80, $9.70. False breakout is $9.50, $9.47, somewhere around there. So according to the 6 month chart, potentially you could be seeing $9.80 before it reverses to the upside, potentially. And in the RSI chart part of the side of the 6 month chart, it's in the oversold territory. Not in the extreme oversold territory yet, but it's in the oversold territory nonetheless. Now, this is the issue. The reason why I'm expecting that the chart overall, this pattern right here, where we came down, bounced off support, went up to the upside, came back down, hit support, upside, and ultimately, even though we had spikes, we were just basically going down until we bounced off this upward trend support level right here. So again, it won't just be a massive drop right now. It'll just basically be repeating the cycle. So maybe I should just do what I think will probably happen. Let's just say even if we dropped a little bit more, go to the upside, come back down, keep doing this, so on and so forth, until maybe even the day of earnings and hit $9.31. And then maybe account for false breakouts, $9.27, something like that. Then go to the upside is for the following reason. So if you look at the 1 year chart, the 1 year chart indicates, so the MACD line indicates the drop basically for the most part just started. And this is going to take some time because the 1 year chart is obviously longer than 6 months, 3 months, 1 month. So it's more for the long term. It could be moving pretty quickly and it could reverse pretty quickly. So there's that. The reason why, for the following reason. For the 5 year chart, it moves a lot slower than 1 year chart, and it was close to crossing over to a positive, but it dipped down to the negative. So if it crosses over with the 1 year chart quick enough, we could see a reversal for the following reason. And this is the reason. If you see this upward trend support line right here, this is more for the 3 month chart. It came down, bounced off support, went up to the upside, came down, almost in a way bounced off the support line, went up to the upside, came down, and we saw it bounce up to the upside. And technically, we might be close to bouncing up to the upside. Now, the only way that will work, in my opinion, is if this 1 year chart for the MACD line crosses over quickly to the upside. And if it doesn't cross over quickly, then we could probably potentially, when we go back to the 3 month chart, mean that we might break through this upward trend support line. And it could happen, and this is how it would happen. Just like I mentioned earlier with the patent sale, if the patent sale does not come out and the analysts are expecting too much for earnings and it misses expectations in a bad way, not necessarily just like a slight miss expectations, but pretty bad, then it could break this upward trend support level and it could drop down lower. We'll see how it happens. We'll see what will happen. But overall, I think it should be okay. I think these price points would be a good price point to enter at, especially given that it potentially could bounce anytime soon with this 5 year chart right here, and plus the previous information I've showed where it's going to show potential reversal based off the 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month chart reversal to the upside. For the short term though, that's short term. 5 year and 1 year more for the long term. So technically, we're not out of the woods yet, if that makes sense. There's basically, for the most part, in short and summary, in terms of like the quick short term, the next few trading days, it's going to be like a couple reversals, but ultimately have a lot of turbulence. But we're ultimately looking for earnings, which is on September 22nd, 2021. The downfall about that, I myself am not expecting that much. Unfortunately, analysts are putting too much expectations on this earnings. I wish they were putting it on next earnings, because next earnings, there's at least hope, in my opinion. This earnings, the only hope we have is for the patent sale, which I'm optimistic for, but it's not a guarantee. That's the problem. So we'll see how it plays out. And then also in terms of resistance, in case if it does start flying past $11 price point, we have a resistance at 1104 to 1107, and then 1117, I believe it was, 1125, 1135, 1150, ultimately 1150, then 1183, $11.83, then the $12 price point. I can't remember the exact price points between $12, but the $12.38 is a good resistance, like a strong resistance level, $12.30, $12.40, but $12.38 because of horizontal resistance, like I mentioned in the past. Then we had the $13 price point. I think it was $13.50, and then $13.93, $13.94, that $14 price point, extremely strong resistance to the upside. So hopefully it does somehow spike up, or maybe on Friday the patent sale news comes out of nowhere before earnings. We'll see what happens. For the time being, it's probably just going to be a stagnating period until maybe December, if the patent sale does not come out on September 22nd, 2021. So that's basically it. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you find it helpful. Like always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And if you like this video, consider dropping a like. It does help with the channel, so thank you so much for that. If you like this video and other stock videos and other financial videos that I do post in the future, consider subscribing so be notified when I do upload those videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next video. Peace.